Alright, hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Lin versus 120. This game taking place here on Ancient Isle. We have Lin spawning as the blue orc player on the bottom right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, 120 has spawned as the red undead over here on the top left. Undead versus orc, and we'll see if it is going to be going back to that classic, well, Blade Master versus Death Knight matchup. This is patch 1.29. I am sure if you guys are watching this within a relative amount of relatively recently, you guys will know I've been casting a lot of 1.29 games, and it really feels like the meta has shifted, and people are still trying to feel out what the types of strategies are going to be. You see the Death Knight being trained up over here. Meanwhile, it is going to be that Blade Master. There's that Voodoo Lounge. So the overall openings are still going to be very similar. However, there are still a number of differences that players can be going for later on, especially with the introduction of, well, the Shadow Hunter and those Serpent Wards. Serpent Wards have become much more powerful, but that's only if the Shadow Hunter is trying to be a support hero as opposed to the primary hero. Shadow Hunter as a primary hero, very popular or very useful in certain instances where the Blade Master, the Shadow Hunter wants to put in a lot of pressure, and by placing those Serpent Wards in, well, awkward locations where units cannot easily get to them, all of a sudden those Serpent Wards can do a large amount of damage. Blade Master picks up a Ring of Protection +2, will go ahead and sell that Scroll of Town Portal, pick up some double healing scrolls, Scroll of Speed, doesn't pick up a Clarity Potion since it didn't really lose anything there. Grunt, on the other hand, already backing up as a couple of skeletal minions are being trained up by that Rod of Necromancy. Very good at time life unit early on, as the Grunt now makes its way back down to the south here. Death Knight may opt to try and finish off the remainder of this creep camp with all of the help in all of these units here. Grunt just gonna join in, get some extra damage onto that Death Knight. As you can see, a little bit of damage or a little bit of gold and experience stolen right there. Death Knight, another round of skeletal minions are going to be added. Is that skeletal minion perhaps going to be backing up? Yes, it will. Who's going to get that final shot off? It looks as though, yes, 120 does get the kill, but, Lin going to be at the other end of the woods picking up some useful items. Is it going to be able to get away? There is that healing salve. Is it going to be able to windwalk or be even forced to use a windwalk? No, not even forced to use a windwalk, as it is now healing back up a good amount of experience. All right, there's that windwalk now, as the Blade Master does want to make sure he doesn't accidentally come across the Death Knight and one of his death coils. Blade Master's double circlet of nobilities, +4 to every stat, extremely powerful already. As you can see, the Blade Master now going after the Null Warden. Null Warden taking a large amount of damage. Blade Master, finally taking some damage there. Not quite sure how the Blade Master lost aggro in that particular spot, but the Blade Master now going to be forced to retreat away. Does steal a little bit more experience from his opponent, and this is really great usage of creep management. When the Lich does finally make its way out, the Lich is going to be looking for some easy creeps to try and creep out, and he's going to actually find that a majority of the creeps on his end of the map have been cleared. By doing exactly that, the Blade Master makes it so that the Lich will have to venture out a bit further in order to get to level 2, making harassment a little bit easier later on. And these are just one of the small things that professional players do to try and maintain control of everything that's going on inside the game. Blade Master there is a Windwalk strike, and go ahead and finish off a unit there, trying to push back the rest of those units. You can take a look, the Null Overseer, beautiful micro coming in from Lin, keeping track of that one unit, and the Null Overseer is not attacking back. That's just a beautiful bit of micro, and the Blade Master is going to get a majority of that experience as he now heads back here. Only needs one more shot, and there it is, finishes off, picks up a Gloves of Haste. As well, the Lich going to be losing a little bit more experience again there. Think of creeps as another resource on a map, and, well, anytime your opponent steals some of your main resources, that is a big setback. Blade Master going to finish off the Null Overseer at this 5/4/4 creep count, gets to level 3. Meanwhile, the Shadow Hunter is already up, as we are in fact teching to tier 3. Bestiary now being added in as well, as we should be looking at well, raiders. Tauren Chieftain also has become much more a mainstay now, I would say, in this Undead versus Orc matchup. Death Knight now heading back over there to the top left, as well, he knows that he cannot really venture forth. 120 is a bit behind and will really need to make his tech presence known in order to make a bit of a comeback. The Blade Master here sitting at level 3 with that rejuvenation potion, getting both mana and hit points, looking really strong, and perhaps could just Windwalk strike a unit down and at least force it to take a little bit of damage, force the use of mana, as you see, well, Frost Armor being used to try and protect that precious Lich. Back at the other end, Shadowhunter actually went mass Serpent Wards first. This is going to help the Shadowhunter get to those precious levels much earlier on, and this is not something I expected to see. 4 Serpent Wards already down on the map, the Blade Master doing that harassment, and Lyn just doing a good job at making it much more difficult for the Death Knight to do what he wants. There is Dust of Appearance on that Blade Master. The Blade Master is going to have a difficult time trying to steal anything right there, but he knows that he's going to force mana usage out of that Death Knight and that Lich. Blade Master can easily start joining in on the fight, trying to finish off some more units there. There is another Windwalk with no Dust of Appearance being revealed, revealing that Blade Master any longer. The Blade Master is going to be able to hide in peace. All right, Shadowhunter in the backfield. Well, I believe it was trying to be healed, but unable to hold on to that, as there was that poison that was attacking multiple units. Serpent Wards will get thrown down here. Grunt trying to finish off some more units. As you take a look back at the other end, the Blade Master could try and steal that experience, and he was unsuccessful, but he did pick up the Wand of the Wind. Big item pickup right there. Meanwhile, Ankh of Reincarnation was the other item at the other end of the map. And you can still continue to see how effective this Shadowhunter Blade Master combination is, even with the Serpent Wards opening up as, well, an option for that Shadowhunter to get a little bit more creeping in during the early portions of the game away from that Blade Master. Tauren Chieftain now added. That Endurance Aura is so powerful, adding to the attack speed and the movement speed of all the units. Let's take a look at this. Dreadlord being picked up as well. Slitch and Carrion Wave. Such a powerful ability, and now that we also see a quick Scroll of Town Portal bringing all of these units back. Blade Master, Orb of Lightning, in order to cast Purge and perhaps stun some of the units, including those destroyers out in the air and out in the open. Shadowhunter sitting at level 3, Serpent Ward placed in a way where you can see around the corner just a little bit, and in comes the units there. A little bit of a gold steal right there, as there was an attack around the corner dealing that killing blow. Meanwhile, the Serpent Ward still poking apart at all of these units. And what is going on here? The Lich and the Dreadlord, well, revealing that they're trying to creep out this location, and that could potentially become a problem. There's a Serpent Ward. There is no proc on that Orb of Lightning, as the Tauren Chieftain also tries to join in on the fight. We could perhaps see some big stomps come into position here. The Serpent Wards, 27 to 30 damage. That is the upgraded level 2 variety, as the destroyers are nowhere to be seen. All right, 27 to 30 damage. That is incredibly high to damage. I know they are stationary, but that damage, I am expecting a debuff sometime soon. The Nerf Bat perhaps needs to get swung hard on the Serpent Ward, as the Serpent Ward still dealing a good amount of damage, just poking across multiple sides here. All right, let's take a look at this. A couple of ensnares. Yeah, there's an ensnare trying to force a fight, trying to force an engagement. Crypt Fiend is going to be caught in position right there. Meanwhile, the Dreadlord continuing to fight. You can see a little bit of Frost Nova damage. There's a big stomp. Healing Wave saving up a Raider. The Raider now trying to head back out. Critical Strike coming across in here as well. Serpent Ward still poking around, and that is just so much damage to be had. No Healing Wave there, as we do see a Sleep go down on a Raider. Frost Nova melting. And yes, the Frost Novas from the Lich are going to help, but all of a sudden, no additional Frost Novas, as mana is now low. Tauren Chieftain, Potion of Invulnerability used in time. Are the units going to be able to chase? No, they are not. Yes, are you? In a little bit, yes. All right, get some water if you need some first. Lich. Okay. Obsidian Statue, Null Assassins, Lich, Destroyers, all coming back across here. Dreadlord still coming, still trying to get a little bit more experience as the Death Knight is sitting at level 3. Destroyer is going to be heading into the corner, and now 120 with the lead in this matchup. Over Lin. Lin has played a strong game, but the technical advantage is starting to show a little bit more. Vampiric Aura by the Dreadlord. Interesting choice. And as there are no abominations and not that many melee units out on the field, the Death Knight, the Dreadlord, and perhaps a skeletal minion or two are the only units that will actually benefit from that Vampiric Aura. Tauren Chieftain still sitting at level 1, does have Wand of Wind. Tauren Chieftain wants to get to level 2. Endurance Aura definitely on the mind. Meanwhile, Blade Master, not quite sure. Blade Master off over here, keeping track and keeping tabs on the Undead army, making sure that, well, he is close by, knowing when exactly that Tauren Chieftain can try and do a little bit of additional creeping away from all of the action. Tauren Chieftain picks up some additional tomes there. You can take a look what is going to be going down next. Serpent Wards are all here ready to go as the Blade Master should be ready to engage in just a moment. 3-3-2 from the Undead. Meanwhile, a 3-3-1 coming in from the Orc. Nope, I believe the Tauren Chieftain will be able to get to level 2 here in just a second. And once that gets to level 2, Endurance Aura is in play, and that is going to make a big difference. Ring of Protection +3 also being placed down, picked up by the Tauren Chieftain, who now has 7 armor at level 2. Tauren Chieftain is going to be able to finish off anything there. 9 gold. Tome of Intelligence was picked up there, as well as the Destroyers getting a little bit of health by Devouring Magic. Shadow Hunter, a little bit low on mana. Blade Master and Shadow Hunter looking to come back around. We are going into Troll Berserkers, the proper counter unit for those Destroyers right now. And I am interested as to what is really going to be going down. You can take a look. The Blade Master, Orb of Lightning. Tauren Chieftain does not have an Orb of Lightning. He could attack the air and try and proc down some of those units as well, which could be, well, at least beneficial. Back down to the south, no additional creeps found back down to the south here, as all of the major creep camps have been cleared out. If anyone wants to gain a level, they will be forced to try and fight a little bit further, or fight against each other to gain levels. 3-3-2 versus 3-3-2. Overall, it looks like we are pretty much even. The Troll Berserkers with Kodo Beast bonus damage and attack speed bonus could be the difference, though, as that is, what, a 20% bonus in damage and a 10% bonus in attack. There's a bit of that Devour Magic there. The Tauren Chieftain realizing, hey, wait, I do not want to give anything to the Destroyers, mana or hit points, decides to back up. Watchtowers being constructed. It looks as though Lin wants to go into a long game. 120 sitting at 59 supply, Lin sitting at 55 supply, and we are going to be going into an engagement, I believe, in the next following moments, as the Shade is keeping track of this Watchtower. A couple of key things to note. Serpent Wards do have heavy armor, meaning that they do take extra damage from Destroyers, and we do have fortified armor from the Watchtower. Quick death of a Raider right there, as that damage is pretty much poked through. Shade acting as a way to be able to cast Frost Nova or Death Coil on this range here, as there is just going to be a slow encroaching movement of these Watchtowers. 16 to 18 damage right there. Lich gonna try and poke through. You can see that damage. That one Watchtower quickly canceled as the units are now looking to back up again. We see some long distance mining, as there's still plenty of mining going on. Not quite sure what the overall trend or the reasoning for this is, as the Lich is taking a lot of damage here. Meanwhile, back on the other side, what units are we waiting for? Perhaps a Banshee or some other units to go in for that engagement. Meanwhile, the Lich does get a Death Coil, is going to be healed back up, now making its way over, decides to back up. Could have easily pushed down some of those Serpent Wards. Not quite sure why it isn't doing that, as the Shadow Hunters, 27 to 30 points of damage is going to be high indeed. All right, Banshee going to be in a little bit in trouble. There's a critical strike. Death Coil saving it. A little bit of RNG luck right there. No critical strike, but the Banshee could end up still getting taken down. A Stomp quickly puts everything in its tracks as we're still looking to fight across here. Troll Headhunter is now pushing forward. Blade Master is, well, sleeping on the job as we now see him continuing the fight back against Kodo Beast. Were they able to get anything in their bellies? Yes, one Abomination. And that is a big swing for supply, all of a sudden lost from 120. Tauren Chieftain now wants to make its way back off to the north. That Kodo Beast digesting that Abomination very easily. It's too bad there's no regurgitate button. Otherwise, that Kodo Beast could just throw him up while he is surrounded and alone and get taken down. Raider going to get taken down in just a moment. However, the Dreadlord in trouble. It looks as though no potion, no healing in time. Tauren Chieftain, potion of healing. Is it going to use a scroll of healing as the Tauren Chieftain tries to back away? There is a scroll of healing followed by a healing wave as all of a sudden Lin able to squeeze out the victory with a couple of key micro moves at the very end. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.